Presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. confirms that doctors found a dead worm in his brain.
Crazy news.
Right now it's all falling apart. Right now you don't know where to start. Right now the walls are caving in. Right now you don't know where to begin.
Howdy, 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 everyone. Welcome. I am RJSMITH, and this thing of ours is called Crazy News Reacts, because I scour the globe and find the most insane, most troublesome, and the craziest news to put in your inbox every night at midnight. If this is your first time here, woohoo! Welcome, welcome, welcome. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so very much. Please share with your friends. You see, our channel is growing really quick, and I can't wait to do live streams. It's probably gonna be another month or two. So what if you have a worm in your brain? Independent presidential candidate Robert Kennedy had a worm in his brain, and it was released in the New York Times just weeks ago. So how do you get them? How do you remove them? And how do you stay safe so that you don't have any parasites invading your body? Let's go.
New York Times says Kennedy claimed in a 2012 legal deposition that the worm, quote, ate a portion of his brain, causing cognitive issues. Kennedy's spokesperson said he now is in good health, and a candidate wrote on X that he'd offer to eat 5 more brain worms and still beat President Trump and President Biden in a debate.
Why am I not surprised that he's
Fake
lying
news media.
and isn't even in the White House yet? Eating his brain. And this is a guy who wants to be president. Do you want someone as president who lies about worms eating his brain? I mean, come on. From when he had traveled to Africa, that's where he likely contracted this parasite. Now, it could potentially create a cyst in the brain, but that's as far as it goes. Let's go on.
And the way this typically would happen is you have the parasite eggs in feces, and then you're having food or water, your hands are contaminated with that, and that's how you end up with that
He
infection.
says he's fully recovered. Do you recover if something has been in your brain?
Usually with these things, they get walled off by your immune system and they get, quote, calcified, so calcium around it. And so for most people, they probably don't even know they have this. It's only when they develop symptoms like seizures or headaches, or maybe incidentally it's picked up on a scan that you're having for some other reason.
And you said that this was more, I guess a problem that you would see in a third world type country, but how common is something like this?
Well, we don't know for sure because we don't go scanning everybody's heads, especially in that kind of setting, but it is one of the most common causes of seizure around the world where you don't have good water and sanitation.
Unbelievable, right? Look, the most common parasite is Taenia solium. It's a pork tapeworm.
The pork tapeworm, also known as Taenia solium, infects both humans and pigs. Inside Louise's brain, the tapeworm sits in a protective cyst. As it grows, the cyst blocks the flow of fluid around the brain, causing a buildup in pressure and leading to Louise's crippling headaches, confusion, and loss of consciousness.
Here, he could have gotten it by larva eggs from feces. Clearly, he's not eating it, right? But water that is not cleaned, food that is undercooked, or somebody making the food who had feces particles on their hands.
And so symptoms would be seizures. What else?
Seizures, headaches, nausea, vomiting. Those are going to be the most common symptoms if you're going to have symptoms.
He also revealed something about mercury poisoning. What can you tell us about that, the long and short-term effects of that?
Well, that can cause some cognitive issues.
And how do you get mercury poisoning?
Well, he's saying he got it through eating too much tuna and other big predatory fish that are more likely to have high levels of mercury. It's certainly possible if he was eating that much canned tuna and so on. It's also unclear what his levels actually were. Is that what's causing his memory issues now? You know, it's really hard to say. I haven't seen his medical records. There are any number of things that could be causing that. But between the parasite and the mercury, it's more likely the mercury.
Look, many people don't have great hand hygiene. How many people do you know wash their hands 3, 4, 5 times a day? I do. And when I do it each time, I'm amazed at how much dirt is actually on them that we can't see with our eye. So if there is fecal matter on the hands, then there are those eggs we spoke about, which then hatch inside the body. body. And very easily, they do gets into the bloodstream. And it's not just the brain. These things can end up in any organ of the human body. But they really don't cause damage. Eventually, the immune system ends up killing them. And it's very a small percentage of people who actually have to have surgery to get rid of them. So I hope you learned something today. And one thing I learned is that if I get headaches or I start vomiting or I start having seizures, it's time to check out the doctor's office, right, guys? And what did we find out? Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has memory issues. That's exactly what we need in the Oval Office. We already have one in there right now that doesn't know if he's going left or right or what his name is. Hey, push that nuclear button. And then the next day, I didn't order that. Okay, guys, thanks for hanging out. Once again, if you're a newbie, hit that like, hit the subscribe, turn on the notifications so that you get the ding and notification in your YouTube message box every day at midnight. Soon we'll be doing the live streams. We're trying to get up to 1,000 followers before we do that because I don't want to get on and then talk to nobody. You know, I might catch 100 to 300 people if I have 1,000 on the live chat to start off. So we're doing this slowly, but in the right way. And we've definitely got a winner channel. And I would love to have you as part of the family here. I'll see you right back here tomorrow.
Right now, you don't know